All right, we're going to get to the warm front in a moment. Let's talk about these global temperatures, the warmest in human history. I've heard a lot of discussion over the last 30 years, really, and many wondering what's the big deal about just 1 or 2 degrees? Well, first of all, when we're talking about 1 or 2 degrees globally, we're talking about Celsius. So that's really a shift of 3 to 4 degrees. And if you're still saying, well, what's a big deal? Well, remember, for us in hurricane country, when we shift from El Nino to La Nina, that's a big deal. And the forecast is we will shift from El Nino to La Nina, which means less shear, which probably means more hurricanes. But that shift, everyone's talking about it, is only a shift of 1 degree Fahrenheit of what's happening in the Pacific. That's only about 2/3 a degree of Celsius. So at least globally, when we talk about shifts in the temperature of 2, 3, 4 degrees, that's a big deal. Now we're just talking about a warm front. Can you see the warm front? You may say, well, we're relatively warm here. But what you really look for if you're trying to find a warm front as a forecaster is where do you see a big increase in temperatures? Notice temperatures are pretty similar, really, from Jacksonville to Charlotte to, well, Chicago for that matter. But notice just south of us, temperatures in the 80s to near 90, and that drapes all the way across to West Texas. So we paint the warm front right about there, and that's why a developing soaking rain is spreading over the area. So initially, outside of the fact we're going to have wet roads, which can always be a problem, for many of us, this is good news. Now, for those out around the Suwannee, the Okefenokee, you don't need the rain really that much compared to those of us, especially south of Duval. But cumulatively, it may begin to cause some problems. That would be later on tonight, or if we do in fact get 2 to 3 to 4 waves of stormy weather. We'll keep a close watch on that. As far as any wind damage threat, the nearest severe thunderstorm way down south of Orlando, and that's headed east. Let's verify that. We have an easterly wind that also supports a warm front is south of us, gusts to maybe 26 miles per hour, so a fresh wind, but nothing out there showing any type of wind damage threat. Here's another way to look at it. So this is basically the signature for the computer model of a soaking rain, and then after midnight tonight and early in the morning, watch what comes at us from the west and the southwest. Now that has a bit of a signature of possibly some severe thunderstorms. That would be wind damage. And then other storms, this could be the 3rd and 4th rounds, would be from Duval south. That would be later Tuesday and maybe on into early Wednesday. So the easy part of the forecast, more rain on the way. Some of the thunderstorms will begin to produce heavier winds tomorrow morning. Will they be severe? We'll keep you updated. But notice a warm front is on the way. And look at those temperatures. It's going to start feeling like humid early June pretty soon.